Hello guys, it's Amanda and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing a good old book haul. So let's get right into it. It has been some time since I have sat in this chair in my little corner and filming again. I'm so happy to be back. I took a little break. I took a little break for the holidays and it felt really good to take a break. I needed a break. But here I am back and better than ever, and I'm excited to get into it. Today we have a good 7 books to talk about today. I am just doing a book haul of the books that I've gotten in the last couple of months. Some of these are still from Christmas, some of them are new purchases from the 2026. So yeah, I just want to do a good old-fashioned book haul because I have missed the good old days of BookTube. So let's just get started in no particular order. I have gotten into Virginia Woolf lately. So I got a couple of her novels. One I've already finished, but this is her essay, How One Should Read a Book. This is literally like a 20-something page essay, and it's very intuitive and very interesting. I love how Virginia puts reading a book and how reading a book is its own act. And then the book, once you're finished reading it, it's now in your memory, and it's like she describes it as like a shadow self of a book. So like when you think of a book and you think of a time reading that book, you either think of the actual book, or you think of scenes in that book, or you think of the time and place where you were reading said book. And if you liked the book, you'll remember that as a very fond memory. And if you really didn't like it, maybe you won't remember much of it or where you were when you read it because you didn't like the book. And I really loved how she put this into words, because I've always kind of felt that, where even like some of my favorite books of all time, like, do I remember every single moment of it? No, but what I remember is the feeling that I got from it and where I was reading it. I think Virginia definitely puts that into much better words than I just did, but I really enjoyed this. And then of course I got this beautiful copy of Orlando. I love the concept. I've always heard of like Virginia Woolf's Orlando, but I never really knew exactly what it was about. And I recently watched a lot of different Virginia Woolf inspired movies. I watched Vida and Virginia, which is the tale of Virginia and her lover Vida, who inspired Orlando, and I really loved watching that film and kind of getting an inside of how she came to write this book. And of course, a lot of it is fictionalized, obviously, but a lot of the letters between her and Vida were shown in the film, and I really liked Virginia's personal life was portrayed and then put into her writing, because as we know, all of our writing, there's always some personal aspect to it. So on to poetry. I have read a couple of poetry books so far this year, and one of them is Love Poems by Rupi Kaur. This just came out. This is a compilation of all of Rupi Kaur's different love poems, or anything that has to do with love, self-love, and just romantic ideas. And I loved this book because this one has her illustrations in it, but a lot of them are in color, while before they weren't. They were in black and white. But I really love this edition, obviously because it's pink and it's so pretty. So I read this in the month of February for Love Month, for Valentine's Day, and I really did enjoy it. When I did pick it up, I did think it was going to be all new poems, however, but they weren't. This is just a compilation of all of her poems from all of her different books. A reminder that love exists and that it's always worth fighting for. Let me see if I can find one favorite that's just kind of short. Oh, this one I love. What is stronger than the human heart, which shatters over and over and still lives? That really punched me in the gut. And the next book I have here is for us Swifties, and that is Poems for Tortured Souls. And just by looking at the cover, you can tell that this is so Swiftie coded. Discover moody, passionate, and emotional verses that have inspired artists and lyricists for generations, featuring over 100 poems by tortured poets including Emily Bronte, Edgar Allan Poe, Louisa May Alcott, Emily Dickinson, Sappho, William Shakespeare, and Lewis Carroll. This must-have anthology explores themes of love, heartache, revenge, folklore, and peace. Whatever era you're in, there's a poem that will speak to you. Like I just said, there are basically like different chapters, if you will, and I love every section. And another thing I love about this is that it's all in purple. Like, the writing is all purple. I don't know if you can really pick it up on camera, but I thought that was really cute. But even if you're not a Swiftie, you will love this poetry collection because I just find that it is such a very good curated list of different poems that really speak to you, and that is a very wide range of different poets that all have many things in common but also are very, very different. And the first thing, dear reader, writing songs, lyrics, and poetry can help us sort through our feelings and free our creativity. Maybe that's what Taylor Swift had in mind when she said making music was a lifeline for her. Many of us, during intense times, turn to our favorite artists or to poets to help us find the words and thoughts that we might have trouble expressing ourselves. In that spirit, here's a collection of poems for those heightened moments when we are looking for the words to make sense of our experiences, or when we are searching for a way of connecting. These poems have traveled to you from far and wide, from England to New England, and from over hundreds of years of history. But whatever and whenever they originated, the words of these great poems resonate here and now. They might even inspire you to write your own songs and poetry. When I read that, I'm like, this is the book for me. I know it. I'm very, very happy about this. I gave this a 4 to 5 stars. Next up, since last year, my favorite book of last year was The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I wanted to get more into Shirley Jackson, so I got We Have Always Lived in This Castle by Shirley Jackson, and I also really adored it. I really, really loved Haunting of Hill House, and I read it within like 2 days. I just remember reading it, and like I said before, everywhere I was while reading it, and I remember the feeling of it, and that's what I remember of the book. And I really, really loved the writing, and like I felt like I was going insane while reading it, and so I just wanted that feeling again. So I picked up We've Always Lived in This Castle. I remember like years and years ago I watched the movie adaptation. I wanted to read the book, and honestly I did not remember the movie at all. I really enjoyed it. It's very weird, and Shirley Jackson's writing is just like, you're reading it, but it's like you feel like you're not even here on this earth while you're reading it. And it's such a weird thing to describe her writing. I found that it was very much like The Lottery. The Lottery is one of her short stories, probably the most famous thing that she's written. It was almost as if The Lottery became a whole novel, and this is that novel. We are following our 2 main characters, Mary Catherine and Constance. They are sisters, and their entire family is dead, and they are living in this big old castle mansion. Like, I went into this not knowing like anything, because I seriously don't remember the movie. So I went into this not knowing anything, and I was very surprised, and I think everyone should go into it like that. The last 2 books are pretty big ones. The first here we have Margaret Atwood's newest book. This is Book of Lives, a memoir of sorts. I have not yet gotten into this, but I so desperately want to. How does the greatest writer of our time tell her own story? Raised by scientifically minded parents, Margaret Atwood spent most of each year in the wild forests of northern Quebec, a vast playground for her father, an independent, resourceful mother. It was an unfettered and nomadic childhood, sometimes isolated but also thrilling and beautiful. From the unconventional art, Atwood unfolds the story of her life, linking key moments to the books that have shaped our literary landscape, from the cruel school year that would become Cat's Eye to the unease of 1980s Berlin, where she began The Handmaid's Tale. In pages alive with the natural world, reading, and books, major political turning points, and her lifelong love for the charismatic writer Graham Gibson, we meet poets, bears, Hollywood stars, and larger-than-life characters straight from the pages of an Atwood novel. As she explores her past, Atwood reveals more and more about her writing, the connections between real life and art, and the workings of one of our very greatest imaginations. I really enjoy anything to do with writers and like writer biographies or autobiographies. I really, really love. The final book that I have to talk about is a beast, and I got this for Christmas, and it is possibly one of my prized possessions. It was in the background of my first video this year, and I don't know if anyone noticed it, but we have this. This is Wicked by Gregory Maguire, and this is a signed edition. There was only so many made, and this one I managed to get. So this is the cloth bound cover, and we take the book out. Carefully put that here. But here is the gorgeous book. She's glorious, she's huge. And we have the back. Carefully open this. We have the whole map of Oz. Oh my god. Here is the certificate of authenticity. There was only Ison Press hereby attests that this edition is strictly limited to a press run of 1,200 individually numbered copies. So there we go. I've got the paper, I've got the signatures and everything. I didn't realize this. The edition is strictly limited to 1,200 copies, of which this is number 156. So here we go. Here is the signatures of Gregory, Maguire, and Douglas Smith, which is the illustrator. And here we are. Look at it. Just look. Yeah, I was a very happy girl on Christmas when I opened this up. Yeah, there's beautiful, beautiful illustrations throughout this. And colored illustrations too. This is now one of my prized possessions. I'm beyond grateful and happy. Oh my god. Those are all the books that I have for you guys today. Again, these are just some books that I have picked up the past couple of months that I just wanted to share with you guys. And I'm so beyond happy to be back here filming, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have read any of the books I have talked about today, do let me know. Or if you plan to read these books, or if you own these books, just let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. And yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and click the notification bell so you'll be notified every single time that I upload. And if you want to find me anywhere else for any more bookish content like this, you can find me on Instagram, Pinterest, GoodReads, and in between the pages of a book. And as always, remember to be the Captain Jack Sparrow of your story, and may your compass lead you to amazing things. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.